Okay, we're going to start in child's pose this evening. So go ahead and get yourself situated there. Take the knees a little bit wider apart than the upper body and extend yourself forward and down. Let your hips rest down toward the heels and your forehead down on the floor or a block. And once you settle here, let your shoulders and arms relax and gently close your eyes. And take a moment as your body settles into this shape, just to mentally scan through your body. Check in with yourself and notice where you are right now, how you're feeling physically, what your mood is like, and where your thoughts have been recently. And acknowledge if there are any areas of holding or tension in the body that you need to pay attention to or work through tonight. Give yourself the permission to let go from the attachment to your own thoughts right now as you bring your focus into the body and start observing the movement of your breath. Just breathing in and breathing out, nice and steady. And keep the breath moving slowly and deeply in your body. We're going to float the eyes open and come up off the heels and into table pose. Adjust your knees hip width apart and the palms shoulder width apart. We're going to start coordinating movement with the breath. Inhale, lift your tailbone, chest and chin, looking forward or up. Exhale, drop the tailbone, round the spine and tuck the chin. Again, inhale, arch the spine, and exhale, round the spine. Continue through these spinal waves, or add any other direction of movement that would feel good for your spine right now. Get into the hips and the shoulders a bit more. And then return back to a neutral table pose. Let's extend the arms forward and let the armpits and chest press down toward the mat for half down dog. Forehead on the mat or block. Press strongly against your hands and straighten the arms actively the way you would in the full posture as you draw the spine in. Take 5 breaths here. And on an inhalation, lift back up to table pose. And we're going to step the right foot in between the hands for a low lunge. You can take blocks if you're more comfortable that way. Slide your left knee farther back and sink down into your hips here. Nice release for the quad and psoas on the left side. And we're going to keep the hips low. Inhale, reach forward and up, finding balance in crescent lunge. Actively lifting up through the spine, ribcage, and chest, and maybe glide the arms back slightly. One more breath in, and exhale, release. Send the hips back in space and extend your right leg. Pull the toes up for our half split. Move your hands or blocks back a little bit as you try and press the back of the thigh down toward the mat, extending this leg. And we're gonna keep the leg straight. Left hand stays on the floor for a twist as we rotate and raise the right arm up. Still press through the back of the straight leg, heel pushing against the mat. One more breath in. Exhale, release, and come forward again into your low lunge. Let's lift the back knee up off of the ground for a high lunge position. Get strong and active through that leg. On inhalation, let's rise up, coming to balance in our high crescent lunge. Find that same upward energy through the spine, ribs, and chest. Steady balance here. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, release the hands to the floor. Step the right foot back and find plank pose. Feet and legs together, shoulders over the palms. 5 deep breaths. Feeling strong through the core, through the front side of the thighs. One more breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows and lower all the way to the ground. Point your toes. Inhale to a low or a high cobra. Exhale, release. Twice more. Inhale, rolling up to cobra. Exhale, release. And once again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, let it go. And let's press back up to the knees and step the left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Sink forward and down into your hips. Walk the right knee a little farther back if you can. And the next time you inhale, rise up, reach the arms over the shoulders, lift and lengthen the spine, crescent lunge. Take one more deep breath in and exhale, release. Send your hips back in space and extend the left leg, half split. You move your hands or blocks back. Press the back of the thigh down toward the mat as you stretch the hamstrings. Good, and keep breathing here. We're gonna add the twist. Right hand stays down, rotate and raise the left arm up. Good, exhale and release. And bend your front knee again, coming back to your low lunge. Let's lift the back knee off the mat, nice and strong through that leg for your high lunge. When you're ready, find balance. Rise up, raise the arms over the shoulders as you lift upward through the spine. One more breath in, and exhale, release. Step to plank pose, left leg back. Line the shoulders over the palms, squeeze the legs together, hold for 5. And the next time you exhale, lower to the floor. Point your toes. Inhale to lower, high cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push back up to the knees. Exhale, the hips back, then lift the knees and hips for down dog. Separate your feet a few inches apart. Spread the fingers widely as you press back. And let go of the neck, allowing your head to drop. Chin moving to the chest. Take one more breath in and look forward. As you exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Place the hands against the shins and inhale to the flat back position. Exhale and fold. Twice more. Inhale, extend your spine and arms. Exhale, fold and release. Once again, inhale nice and long. Exhale, let it go. Feel it's hanging here over the legs. Hold on to your elbows and just let your shoulders sink down, releasing through the upper back. Take a few more deep breaths. And then let go of the elbows. We're going to open the arms. Inhale, rise up and reach over your head. Exhale, release. Good, make sure you're toward the front of your mat. And we're going to move through a few slow sun salutations. On an inhalation breath, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lift back. Downward facing dog. Once you've adjusted your posture, if you need to, then settle into relative stillness in the body. Just focus on the gentle movement of your breath. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach overhead. Exhale, release. Second round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to your knees. Exhale, back and up, downward facing dog. Nice, smooth, even breath. And on an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. We're going to take a modified version of Sun Series B. Let's stand with the feet together, preparing for chair pose. On an inhalation, sit back and extend the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees and step your left leg all the way back, and then ground that heel. We're going to inhale, come up to warrior one. Let's take a few breaths here. The next time you exhale, place the hands down. Inhale, step up and back to downward facing dog. You can adjust your feet if you need to. Take a few breaths. And then look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk up to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's scoot the feet together. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit back to chair pose. And then we're going to fold again. Exhale, standing forward bend. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, bend your knees, touch the ground, and step your right leg all the way back. And then place the foot down for warrior one. Inhale and rise up. Take a few breaths here. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands, lift your back heel, and then step back to down dog. Take a few breaths here. This version of Sun Series B omits the second half of the vinyasa where we lower down from plank and add the cobra pose. So for an evening, more gentle practice, we're kind of wanting to wind down the physical energy. It's a nice alternative. It doesn't get the heart pumping quite as high as the traditional version of Sun Series B. Let's look forward and inhale. Exhale, step back up to your hands. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold. Feet together, bend the knees, sit back for chair pose. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale and stand up. Release the arms by your sides. And just stand here in mountain pose. Take a few energizing breaths and notice how you feel in your body. Good. From here, we're going to take a wide stance on the mat. And if you like to have blocks to be able to touch the ground when you're in a wide-legged forward bend, you might want to have those in place between your feet. So the feet are about as wide apart as in a warrior posture, with the big toes turned in slightly, heels turned out. We're going to bring the hands to the waist and just squeeze your shoulders and elbows back and open across your chest. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, send your hips back and your upper body forward, gradually folding, eventually dropping the head, and then placing the hands either on the blocks or on the mat if they can reach. Good. Press strongly against your feet. Feel your quadricep muscles actively squeeze. And let your head just hang down, nice and relaxed. Now the next time you inhale, lift your head, walk your hands or blocks forward and find the flat back position. Lengthen from your tailbone up your spine and out the crown of your head. You get pretty strong in the muscles of the lower back and lower abdominals. From here, we'll take a twist. The left hand can stay down. Rotate and raise the right arm up, or you can keep that hand at your waist if that's a little too much for the shoulder. And as you're twisting, notice if you dropped into your left hip a lot. And if you did, try and lift it up toward the ceiling again. Twist just from the strength of your abdomen on up the spine. Good. The next time you exhale, release the right arm. Find the flat back position again, really long, and then switch. Right hand down, rotate from the waist up as you raise the left arm. Keep lifting up through the right hip joint so you don't collapse there. Good. Look down and exhale. Release. Look over at your front foot, turn that foot forward and walk your hands over to the front of your mat and end up in a lunge pose. For me, this is my right leg, but you do whichever side was facing the front of your mat. So once you're in that lunge, let's lower the back knee to the ground. Take both arms inside of your front leg and move that foot over maybe 2 inches. Turn it out and let it fall away from the shoulder. So now opening the outer hip. You can be on your hands or knuckles or blocks, whatever feels good here. And we're just going to sway the hips side to side a little bit. Just right to left. See if you can get a little more release into this hip stretch here. And then the next time that you sway to your hip of the back leg, so for me that's swaying to the left, let yourself just kind of sink into that. Try and feel that hip and thigh get as low to the ground as you can. So just really let the pelvis drop. You may feel more of a stretch in your lower abdomen, the psoas and the obliques here. So just really drop down into that back hip. Good, and then let's take the hips back to center. Move your front foot out to the side even more so you've got space to plant your palms shoulder width apart. Let's lift the back knee up off of the mat, and then from here, step back to plank pose. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and slowly lower to the ground. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press to the knees. Exhale, hips back and up to downward facing dog. Take about 5 breaths here. And let's take the other side from down dog. So for me, that's stepping my left foot forward, but take whichever side you didn't do. And then bring the back knee to the mat. Let's take both arms inside of that front leg and move the foot over about 2 inches and turn it out. And let the knee and thigh fall out as well. Good, take a moment just to get used to the pose on this side. And then we're gonna start that just gentle swaying of the hips, kind of right to left, really getting into that outer hip stretch. Doesn't have to be fast motion. Take it at your own pace, or if it feels good to kind of linger more on one side than the other, if that helps your stretch, go ahead. And then for me, since my left foot is forward, the next time I lean my hips kind of to the right, I'm going to stay down there and try and really sink my right hip and thigh as low to the ground as I can. And support yourself with your hands however you need to here. It's not so important to me the position of the hands, but more so that you feel like your shoulders are supporting the upper back as you really drop the pelvis down into that side. Good, and then shift the hips so they're back to their centered position. And adjust that front foot out to the side even more. Plant your palms shoulder width apart and lift the back knee up. And then step to plank. Good, feet and legs together. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower to the ground. Point the toes, inhale, come to cobra, and we're going to stay here. Feel your rib cage and chest lift. Glide the shoulder blades and elbows down, squeezing the sides of your waist. Strong through the glutes and the back of the legs. One more breath in. And exhale, lower yourself to the floor. Let's press up to the knees and then adjust the knees wider than hip width. And let's sit back to child's pose. Point the toes, let the hips move toward the heels as you extend the upper body forward. And close the eyes, allow your arms and shoulders to relax. And just notice how you're feeling right now. Let your body release into this shape. And from here, let's come back up into table pose. We're going to take threading the needle, so adjust your knees hip width apart. We're going to raise the right arm up first. You can inhale and reach up. Exhale, sweep that arm under you, coming down to the shoulder and the right side of your head. Move your left hand over a little and push the ground to lean back on your right shoulder. Make sure you can breathe deeply here as we're increasing the intensity of the twist. And then if you like, raise your left arm up and let it fall back in space. Just opening the left side of the chest. Good, let's take the left hand back to the floor. Push the mat and inhale, come off of the right shoulder. Reach up again to the right side and then let it go. Other side, raise your left arm up. Inhale, exhale, sweep it underneath you. Shoulder and left side of the head to the floor. Move your right hand over a little. Push the mat and lean back. Create that twist and deep stretch across your upper back. And if you like, raise your right arm up into the air, feeling it gradually fall back. And the next time you exhale, bring the right hand back to the floor. Push the mat and come off the left shoulder and reach up again to the left and then back to table pose. Good, from here, plant your palms shoulder width apart. Walk your knees a little farther back than the hips and lower yourself all the way to the ground. We're gonna plant the forehead on the mat. Reach the arms alongside the body and squeeze the legs together. We're going to take locust pose. The next time you exhale, lift the legs, arms, chest, and head, breathing against your mat. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, lower your body, turn your head to one side, and take a few breaths to rest. And when you're ready for this a second time, bring the legs together and forehead down. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, and then go ahead and lift everything up. Really active on the back side of the body. Deep, steady breathing. And one more breath in. Exhale. exhale, let it go. Turn your head to one side and let your shoulders rest again. And we're going to take this one more time, this time with a little chest opening. So if you prefer using a strap to connect your arms behind your back, you can grab that. If you're comfortable interlacing your fingers, you can do that as well. Legs together, let's roll the shoulders back and extend the arms, reaching the fist or the strap toward your feet. And then lift everything up into locust as you raise the arms up away from the hips. One more deep breath in, and exhale, release. Good, separate your arms, turn your head to whichever side is comfortable, and take a few breaths to relax. And separate your legs a little wider than hip width, bend your knees, and rock the feet back and forth from side to side. So let that loosen up your lower back a little bit. Good, and then from here I'm going to have you turn over onto your back, and we're going to take bridge pose. We're going to take bridge pose 2 times in the active version of the posture, and then we're going to take a restorative version. So have blocks nearby. If you don't have blocks, you can take a couple of sturdy books and support your hips with those. Let's roll to the back. And once you're on your back, bend your knees. Adjust your shoulders and spine so they feel centered over your hips. And lay your arms down alongside the body. Before we lift up, I want you to roll your shoulder blades closer together under your back to open the chest, and then press against your feet, your hands, and arms as you lift your spine into bridge. Curl your tailbone forward toward your knees. And see if you can bring that arch all the way into the upper back. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, roll your spine down. Good, separate your shoulders and let your back relax. Just taking a few breaths to let that energy calm down. And we'll take it a second time. Gather the shoulder blades close together under your back. And then press against your feet, hands, and arms, lifting up into bridge. If you can make that adjustment again, kind of wiggle the shoulders closer together. You can get a really nice broad opening across the chest. Maybe even connecting the fingers underneath you. Optional variation here. One more breath in, and exhale. Slowly roll down. Separate the shoulders and relax your back. Feel heavy through the hips. Couple of breaths to recover. And then for supported bridge, you're going to take your block or blocks or whatever prop you're using to support, and we're going to place that underneath the sacrum, flat bone at the base of the spine. So I use my 2 blocks stacked on top of each other. You can use less height than this, especially if your torso isn't as long or you just don't want a high bridge, right? So you'll figure out how much support you like. Lift your hips up and slide the blocks in place for your support so that they support the back of the pelvis. And you may need to adjust. You definitely don't want it in the arch of your low back. I say that all the time, but you will not be comfortable if you support your back there. So make sure it's behind the hips, flat pelvic bones. And then let's let the arms open out to the side in a T position, or if you're comfortable slightly above you, can be nice too. Just make sure the shoulders can be relaxed on the floor. And let the feet rest beneath the knees. And allow a very heavy feeling to come into the pelvis. Really let them sink into the support of the blocks. And each time you exhale, feel your navel really draw down toward your spine. Let the force of gravity with the exhalation breath help bring length into all these muscles in your lower abdomen that connect at the hips. And then optional little variation if you'd like to take a psoas stretch here. Straighten one leg out in front of you and let it relax. So just let it hang out extended. And you should feel a deeper stretch right around the crest of that hip. So that's the upper part of the psoas where it attaches there, lengthening that here, as well as the upper attachments of the quads. And if you're doing this, try and keep the glute muscles of that leg relaxed. And just take a few breaths. And let's bring that foot back into bridge and slide the other leg forward, letting it relax out in front of you, extended for the psoas stretch. And again, try and keep the glute muscles of that leg relaxed. And when you're ready to release, drag that foot back in to your regular supporting bridge. And let's lower the arms down alongside the body. Press the feet against the mat and lift your hips up off of your support. Reach underneath you to remove them. You can put them aside as you roll your spine back down to the floor. Once your back is on the mat, just take a few moments to let yourself adjust, let your spine settle. And then separate your feet as wide as your mat and drop the knees back and forth slowly from side to side. And then let's pick the knees up and bring the feet all the way together. together to touch each other, and let the knees fall open away from each other for reclined bound angle pose. And we'll be here 5 to 10 breaths. If you like, you can support this posture with blocks outside of your knees or your thighs. If you're comfortable without, just try and really let your inner and outer thighs relax. Let the legs just melt into this shape. You can close the eyes if you like. And let the origin of the inhalation phase of your breath be really low in your body. Let it expand, not just on your front side, but the sides of your waist and the back side of the body as well. And the next time that you exhale, let's bring the knees back together. And gently hug the knees into your upper body. Let's wrap the arms around the legs and rock a little bit side to side, massaging your lower back and the back of the hips. And then rock the knees around in a wide circle, a couple of times in each direction to massage your SI joints. And let's stop that motion and keep the right knee here. Slide your left leg down on the mat. And your left leg can be pretty relaxed, so it doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. And just allow the bent knee to move toward you as you exhale. Feeling your low back get longer and possibly flatten into the floor a little more. And then guide the right knee a little bit away from your upper body. And then we're going to come into a twist. Cross it over your abdomen toward the ground. Float your right arm out to the side to counter the knee. And just let it gradually fall over. You can give yourself an adjustment by sliding your bottom hip to the right side of the mat a few inches as well. And close the eyes if you like, as you allow the body to just melt into this twist. Feeling it start in the low back and gradually move up the spine. And try and keep your right shoulder down. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, unwind that twist. Bend your knees and slide your hips to the center below your shoulders and just pause there for a moment to let your back and ribcage settle. And then when you're ready, bring your left knee to your chest and slide your right leg down, letting it relax on the mat. Couple of breaths here, feeling the left knee move toward you as you exhale, just gently. And letting your low back lengthen and flatten toward the mat. And then guide the left knee away from your upper body a little bit, and then we'll cross it over for our twist. Float the left arm out to counter the leg as it drops, nice and slowly. And you can adjust your bottom hip over to the left side a few inches, helping to deepen the rotation here. And again, you can close the eyes if you like, letting your body melt into this shape, completely letting go. And the next time you exhale, gently unwind. Bend both knees and adjust your hips so they feel centered below the shoulders. Just pause here for a few breaths to let your spine release. And then we're going to take reclined pigeon pose. Cross the right ankle to your left thigh. Gently press that knee away from your face. And you can stay here if you like, or take the second phase. Bring the legs in and reach through the space, holding the back of the left thigh. And if that feels good, you can rock a little bit side to side, massaging your low back and your hips here. And the next time you exhale, release the left leg and uncross your right ankle. Other side, left ankle to the right thigh. Press the left knee away from your face. And if you'd like, bring the legs in, reach through the gap and hold the back of your right thigh. Gently rocking a little bit side to side to massage the back of the hips. And when you're ready to release, let go of the right leg, uncross your ankle here. And last but not least, we're going to take happy baby pose. Bring both knees into the upper body and take the knees wider than your ribs. Reach inside the legs for either the ankles or the feet. And if it feels good, press the feet up against the hands. Here too, you can do some rocking if that feels good on your back. Or you can stay more stationary in the pose. And when you're ready to let go, drop the feet and place them on the mat. And then get yourself comfortable for final relaxation, Shavasana. We'll spend a few minutes relaxing in corpse pose. So if there are any props that you'd like to use to support your body, get yourself nice and cozy on your mat. And then eventually extend your arms and legs. And once you feel settled, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out your mouth. Let your lower jaw release and your tongue and throat relax. Feel the muscles in the face soften, especially between your eyebrows. temples. Let your shoulders feel heavy as they sink into the floor. And the spine decompress one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the hips. Feel heavy through the pelvis, and the arms and the legs. Relax through the fingers and the toes, letting your whole body rest. Slowly bring your attention back to the surface and lengthen your breath. And in your own time, move a little bit through the fingers and the toes, gently waking up your body. And take whatever additional movement would feel good to you. And then eventually roll over to one side and curl into a fetal pose, just pausing there to notice how you feel right now. And stay with that feeling as you come upright. Take a comfortable seat with your eyes still closed. And once you are sitting, feel your spine lift and lengthen, and focus on that deep, active breath. Let it fill your body. And we'll end chanting Om one time. You can bring the palms together in front of the heart and take a deep breath in. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time and space to practice and expressing gratitude to your own body. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Hope that you enjoyed this class.